If you're in recovery from opiates, one of the tools that's out there to help you through your recovery journey is Suboxone. And there's also a shot called Sublocade. And what we're talking about today is Stacy's journey, where she is transitioning from the Suboxone over to the Sublocade shot and how that's all going. And she just got her second shot.
Yeah, my second one.
Okay, so how did that go? I know the first one you said it was a little pinch kind of in the stomach. Did you get it in the stomach again? Or?
Yeah, so they moved from this side to this side.
Okay.
And this one hurt. This one
Worse than the other?
Way worse.
Okay.
It sent me back. Actually, the nurse that was in there, she's like, go ahead and take a minute. And I had to lay there for a second just to kind of, and it bruised. Like I have a bruise about that big on my stomach. And and it's almost the same location, but like, you know, pushing all that liquid in there, I'm sure you never know which part of the stomach and nerves or whatever could be in that area. So yeah, it hurt pretty bad. So I took about a 5-minute break and just laid there and was like, okay, I gotta pull it together because I gotta go to work. So yeah, it was worse than I expected, but you know, I mean, they told me that going in, the shot can hurt.
Is there any initial immediate after effect? Like you said you had to go to work, like is there like a woozy feeling, or is it just kind of like, hey, I just got this shot and I'm going on with my life?
Yeah, when I first got the shot, it just hurt is what it was. And you don't start feeling the effects of it until like later on that day. At least I don't. I didn't. And then that went for the first one too. I didn't feel it immediately.
Yep.
But I start to feel it. You start to feel it throughout the day.
Okay.
And even more that night, and then even more the next day. This time for me, the 2 days after getting it, I just was down. I did not feel good. My sleep was really off, and when I finally did sleep, I slept hard, and then woke up, and my stomach was just really like woozy, like too much meds.
And you're on the 300 shot again this time.
I did, and so we are definitely taking it down next time. Doctor and I talked, and we're not going to do that just because I don't feel like I need it. I really don't. I felt really good at the end of last month, you know, coming off the 30 days, and I didn't feel any withdrawal symptoms or fatigue or restless or anything like that. So, I mean, I don't feel the need to stay on the 300 milligrams, especially if I'm going to feel like that, and it's going to put me down for the first 2 days, you know?
Sure.
It's just, I'd rather not do that.
Do they have, like if you're on this for 6 or 8 months, you're going to get 6 or 8 different shots. So is it just like constantly picking a different location? Like, hey, like, did they ask your permission? Like, hey, would you like to get it here or here?
Basically, it was like the opposite side. She's like, well, what side did you get it on last time?
Sure.
She hasn't said anything else. I know that in some people you can get it in your arm, you can get it in your buttocks. But like, I know for me, I'm a fairly tiny person, so I really don't have much fatty areas that can handle that.
Every time you sit down, you get a little extra medicine?
No, I'm good with that. And plus, it hurts for a couple days afterwards. It's sore, it's tender. And then, like I said, this one got bruised. And, you know, I don't think it's probably going to be like that every time because it wasn't like that the first time.
Sure.
So, but I'm doing pretty good now. My days are going pretty well, sleeping great, no headaches, you know, things like that. And I'm liking that. And I'm enjoying the not having to take something every day. And honestly, even coming up on getting the shot, I wasn't like, oh my God, I got to get the shot. I got to make sure, you know what I mean? I wasn't
like you didn't feel like, oh, this is wearing off.
And reaching for something. I didn't. I was fine.
Okay.
And I really liked that. That felt like freedom to me. That felt like real freedom to me, where it's like I can see where this is going to go, and I can see myself getting off of it and just being able to finally be free of Suboxone.
Yeah.
You know, it's been 9 years over that, probably, with between taking it on the streets and then taking it being prescribed to me.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've been tethered to for a long time, and it's a new chapter in my life.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be possible if I was not working a recovery program.
Sure.
Like none of it would.
It's crazy. The more I've kind of dug into this, the more I see like it's almost a fine print thing where they talk about just all the other things that have to go into you doing a Sublocade shot or a Suboxone program. Like there's other things that you're supposed to be doing.
You're supposed to be doing to benefit yourself, because you're not doing yourself any favors by not doing the things. And when I say recovery program, it's not like you need to go and just go get into a rehab or go.
Sure.
When I say program, I want to say I use that word loosely, but I don't. My recovery program is what I put together every day for me that's making my life better. You know, and I
Yep.
take a little bit from everything, a little bit from AA, a little bit from NA. You know, I meditate, God, like I take a lot from different things. And that's my recovery program. Doing something every day to benefit myself and being a better person every day, better than I was the day before. That's
Sure.
my recovery program. You know, I'm not saying like you have to, you know, follow the exact AA manuscript or the NA. There's not like a certain thing. And I don't think there ever really has been. I think NA and AA have been great for the, you know, the community. And
I think that program gave people, some people thrive on structure.
absolutely.
And the AA program is great because it gives people a structured way to approach recovery.
Yeah.
Some people need that hardcore structure and the sponsor leading them through and holding them accountable.
Yeah.
Some people just need a judge saying, if you do this again, you're
out.
going to lose your license. Some people need a family member saying, if you do this again, we're out of here, or you're out of here.
They sent me to prison.
Right.
I mean,
prison can do
you know,
it for some
and
people.
that's what gave me structure. And yeah, everybody is different. Everybody's recovery program is going to be different.
Yep.
It's going to look different for everybody. So, like I said, I see this getting to be where I start to see a little bit more freedom in my life. And you know,
That tastes so good.
It
too.
does.
Oh, the freedom part.
well, it leaves the future wide open for
Yep.
me. You know, and I like that. I'm starting to be able to see a future. And addiction, I didn't. And the future that I would see wasn't good.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm, you know, coming up on 17 months, the 21st of December, and I'm still in early recovery. That's still early recovery.
Sure.
You know?
I've heard some people say it's 5 years
Yeah.
is early recovery. And I'm like, oh man, you know, like I can see where they're going with it because you're really trying to put a lot of things together in those first couple of years.
A lot.
And everything in life is new because everything changed.
Yeah. Well, you're trying to first of all get back, and you know, if you have young kids, you want to try to get them back in your life, and
Yep.
you know, you want to get a job and get your license. You know, start building a savings account, getting a place, getting a vehicle. For
Yeah.
some people, it might be getting a vehicle and getting car insurance. You know, and then once you start to build those things, it's keeping those things. And right now, I'm in that process of building those and learning how to keep those, learning
Yeah.
how to have a budget. You know, because I live at home right now, so I am in a great position to save money. Not that I make a lot of money, because I don't,
Sure.
but I'm taking the steps in my life to make sure that I can do things to have a better job.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and that's early recovery.
It's like investing in yourself, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes those rewards or those payoffs aren't right away, but sometimes they come like even a year or 2 or 3 down the road. And you're like, man, I'm sure glad that I invested in
Yes.
myself back then because now it's paying off.
Yeah, it's crazy to think back a couple years ago and where I was at, and you know, and how much I've accomplished since then. And you know, a lot of it's internal work too. Some people forget that a lot of it's internal work, and you want to, you know, build your self-esteem and your boundaries and
Sure.
self-respect. And you know, a lot of people coming out of addiction, they are just beat down and just they're not who they used to be,
Sure.
and they don't recognize themselves.
Yeah.
So that's hard to do. That's hard to come out of that and say, "Oh, I want recovery," or "I want this," or "I can see a good future." It's hard to come out of addiction and see a future. But now I'm starting to see what a future can look like, and investing in myself and investing in my community and learning what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think everybody can do. Everybody is worth it and capable of things that they never thought that they were. You know, we're a lot stronger than we think we are.
I think a lot of times we sell ourselves short or, you know, because we're comfortable with what we know.
Yeah.
And sometimes that fear of the unknown can just stop people in their tracks. And recovery is this beautiful thing that allows people to like jump into something brand new.
Yeah.
And see what you're made of, see what it's all about, see if you like it. That's why we do what we do on Friday nights with Sober Not Boring. It's, you know, some nights might be painting something, some nights might be a karaoke holiday sing-along the other night, you know, and people that had never gotten up and taken the mic got up and took the mic.
Yeah.
But they had a whole group over here singing with them, you know, which helps, you know.
Does.
And it's just that experience, like, hey, you can get up and do this. It's, you know.
It's practice.
Yeah, for sure.
It's practice. That's what you need to do. Practicing those small little things that is stepping out of your comfort zone. So that way you have enough practice, you have enough, you know, momentum and courage and self-esteem built up to where it's like, okay, the next thing, the bigger thing, I can have enough to do that too. And or I want to do that too, or I can see myself doing that too.
Yep.
You know, I never thought, you know, 3 years ago that I would be taking recovery coach classes or ethics classes or any of the things. I never thought I would have this like proud feeling about myself. And those are things that, you know, I wouldn't give up for anything now.
It's, those are the things that makes your recovery full.
Yeah.
Part of Heidi's message today was living fully now. And that's the ticket, is when that's recovery.
Yeah.
Sober is, you know, living, but recovery is living fully in the present, being very present, being not thinking about what you don't have, not being worried about what's happening tomorrow or next month, or you're just doing the next right thing today, and you're fully present where you're at today.
Yeah, I don't have my cell phone with me a lot of the times. Like I can set it down. And before I went to prison, you know, in addiction, I had that thing with me constantly. Like it was like something that I was so addicted to.
Sure.
And since I've gotten home, and I enjoy my life. Like I love my life, and I want to be in my life. I want to see everything that's going on around me. I'm okay with setting that thing down. Sometimes I'll go hours without even looking at it, or it'll go off, and I'll look at it, set it down, and I'll forget it. You know, it's not done on purpose to ignore people or anything like that. But I'm noticing for me, I enjoy my real life. I enjoy reality.
Yeah.
So for me, it's okay to set that thing down. Now, I probably should get, you know, a little bit better at responding to my friends, my family, and things like that, and learning how to balance things in life. You know, we talked about having a routine, building a routine, because that's big for me. You know, the reason I think I did good the reason I think I did well in the prison setting was because it was structured.
Sure.
Because it was like I knew what time I was eating, I knew what time this, knew what time that. I was in bed by a certain time and up by a certain time. And I'm trying to find a balance between work and home and, you know, work and recovery and being in the places that I love, like outreach. I'm trying to I can't even say the word, prioritize the things in my life so that I can figure out my routine. It's a big thing. Apparently it's a healthy thing to have as a routine in life.
It is. That was one of the things when I went to the hole. I got sentenced to 2 years in the hole, and I was there probably not even a month, and some old timer sent down a kite and just introducing himself, asking if I needed anything. And at the bottom of his thing, he said, I'm not telling you how to do your time, but I am going to offer you some advice. Find a routine.
Nice.
Get yourself into a routine where you're doing something every day. Give your mind something to look forward to. And it doesn't matter what time it is, doesn't matter what it is, but just have something on your schedule.
Okay.
And so I went to work at at this time I'm going to wake up. And at this time, then I'm going to maybe work out for a half an hour. And then I'll clean up my cell. And then there was always something. I'll write a letter. I'll
journal.
Meditate. I'll journal. I'll do my crossword puzzle. I'll read the paper.
Yeah.
But there was always something next.
Okay.
that I was like, okay, there was very rarely I had time in the hole where I was like, nothing to
Bored.
do. Yeah, nothing to do.
And see, I think that's when your time passes by a lot slower and a
Sure.
lot worse. Like your time is what you make of it,
Yeah.
you know, and that's a big thing too. And I think the same goes for in real life. Like your time is what you make it.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling with a routine at this point only because I'm working so many different hours. Like, you know, sometimes I'll open, sometimes I'll do mid-shift, sometimes I'll close. So I'm kind of struggling there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to talk to my bosses about that because it is important to me to have a routine in my life. And,
Sure.
you know, I wouldn't mind, you know, doing a mid every once in a while or a night, whatever it may be. But I have got to set something up to where it's like, I know and my body knows. Like, I can't do this 4 a.m. one day and then work until midnight, you know, 2 days
Right.
later.
Yeah.
Because I'm not capable of doing that without being exhausted.
Right.
You know, and I'm not okay with it. Like I have boundaries now.
Yeah.
Like I can say this does not fit in my schedule. This
Sure.
does not fit in my life like this. So
Yeah. And you have the right to say that.
Yeah.
Especially with an employer. Like, that doesn't work with my schedule.
yep.
Thank you for offering that. Right.
Well, and I don't want to be the only one at work
Right.
that does that too. You
Sure.
know what I'm saying? I think, and hopefully, you know, we can all work together to figure out where it's like, okay, we know our roles, we know our schedules, and we can just keep it like that unless somebody needs time off, which I'm okay with doing
Yeah.
things like that. But yeah, routine is big for me right now.
Yeah.
Just learning how to balance things in my life.
So, doctor's appointment, was there anything else that came up in the doctor's appointment while you were there that stood out to you, or any conversations that you had with your doctor?
We did talk about the lumps that are left over from
Sure.
the other shot, and
Yep.
you know, she did say that that's going to happen, and a lot of people that can stay about 2 to 3 months. Now with me, she said, because I'm a smaller person, it would take a little bit longer, maybe,
Sure.
but nothing to worry about with that. She said she's never had anybody that has had issues with it.
Yep.
That she, you know, so far, so that wasn't a big concern. No, other than that, things went well in the office. Besides how bad it hurt, this time I was really surprised by that. So,
Did you ask her at all about the drug test thing, like dropping, failing a drug test further down the road, like after you stop, or did that not get brought up?
I did bring it up, and she said, "Now here's the thing: you can possibly drop for it's not opiates, though.
Okay.
It was something else. I think it was the buprenorphine, and they have to test for it. Like most drug places, drug testing places for courts and stuff are going to have that on their panels, and that's where
Gotcha.
they'll drop dirty at. It's
Okay.
not for opiates.
Got it.
However, I think she did say I think she said 6 to 8 months after you're completely off the shot.
Yep.
It should start to go down and go down and go down. But there's a half-life of, and I'm not going to explain this right, but
Sure.
there's a half-life of prescription medications, and then there's a half-life of like the Suboxone medication.
Yep.
And they're different. Like an opiate versus the Suboxone, they're different.
Okay.
And the half-life between the Suboxone, the sublingual strip, and the shot is different.
Okay.
So for some reason, and like I said, I don't really understand how that works.
Sure.
But I think that she said the half-life of the Sublocade is a lot longer. That's why it takes a lot longer to go out of your system. I didn't have a chance to really look into that.
Yep.
She made it seem like it was okay, and I do understand the half life between like pills and Suboxone and
Sure.
the different drugs. I get that. It's just how long it takes to start to work in your body, and then how long it stays in your body, and then how long it stays in your system after
Sure.
that.
Yep, to
So
get
it's
out.
it's kind of
Okay.
a lot of medical things.
Yeah. I'll do some digging around too and see this week, like what I can find while I'm putting this together. And
Yeah, there's a lot of different things between even just like regular medications versus a sublingual, and then versus a shot. They're all different because they're all different things, and
because they enter your body
yes,
in a different
they
way.
enter your body
Yep.
differently, and
Yep.
they're made differently, and they're made for specific purposes. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear about the whole taking the sublingual strip and how that affects the GI system, which we
Yeah.
had talked about the other day. So
Yeah, and like I said, when I was on those, in addiction for the last, in and out for the last 10 years. I never really looked into that to understand why. And I never really thought it was the Suboxone at first that made me feel that way. The headaches and the grogginess and the constipation and like
Sure.
the stomach just constantly feeling like I was just, ugh.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that I don't anymore.
So is a lot of that going away then? Like you
Yes.
don't, okay.
Yeah. I
right.
don't feel so weighed down. I don't feel so bloated. I don't feel like when I would eat before, I could only eat a little bit and then I feel like I've eaten like a lot. Now I'm able to eat a decent, portion and I feel fine. I don't feel like the food staying in my stomach for 4 days,
Sure. Yep.
because that's what it felt like. It felt like everything was constantly in my gut.
Yeah.
And it just made me feel disgusting, I think seeing this on Candace Owens the other day, she was talking about probiotics. I don't know why, but everything starts in your gut.
Yeah.
And if your gut's not healthy, then you're not going to feel healthy.
Yep.
And that starting to make sense to me. I'm starting to pay attention to my health and
Sure.
and pay attention to these things now that I am able to
Yep.
and now that I want to. So, yeah.
Anything else personally happening? Any ups, downs, goods, bads?
Everything's just up at this point. My parents bought me a flat screen smart TV for my room. And
Nice.
just little things, things that wouldn't happen had I not started.
Is that because they were tired of sharing their TV?
Oh, I
with you?
don't take theirs. I think they got tired of seeing me watch my stuff on my computer in my room because I would use my phone for Wi-Fi because we live in the middle of nowhere, so I use my phone for my Wi-Fi. But I have a computer and that's how I was watching all my shows. And I think they just got tired of seeing me sitting on the bed with my laptop or having it sitting on my dresser, and it's kind of small, so.
Sure.
They they just are really starting to see the change in me, and
Yeah.
it's nice to know that they see it also, because sometimes you can do a lot of work on yourself, and because a lot of it is internal, you feel like people don't see that, but they
Right.
do.
Yeah.
But they do.
Yep.
Especially if you're around somebody
It
every
shows
day.
up in how you react to tense situations.
Yeah.
It shows up in how you handle yourself. It shows up in
How you show up.
how you show up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, things are just really good, and I'm looking forward to Christmas. For the first time in a long time, I'm gonna buy Christmas gifts. I'm gonna be at Christmas dinner. I'm gonna do all the traditions, and I'm gonna enjoy it. For the first time in a long time, I get to be around for the holidays. I'm not saying, God, I wish this was over. I hate the holidays, or
Yeah. Yep.
last Christmas I was in prison, and the one before that I was alone. I spent all day alone, didn't hear from nobody, and it was probably the loneliest day that I'd ever had.
Did you feel like you couldn't reach out because of where you were in addiction at that point?
Yeah, I was on the run.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I knew my family had had enough of my shit.
Yeah.
So, and I was in addiction. I was
Yeah.
using. So, but I just want people to know that even if you are in that situation, your family does love you and they do want to hear from you. Because I know that if I would have reached out, they would have at least asked, "How are you? Are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Do you need something? Do you need, are
Yeah.
you okay? And
But you had convinced yourself, like,
yeah, I
they
put
don't wanna hear
myself
from me.
there, and
Yeah.
I isolated myself, and you get into some dark places doing that, and
Yeah.
it's not always as bad as sometimes as we think it is.
Yeah. Addiction has a way of amplifying.
Yeah.
It amplifies certain things in order to keep you isolated.
Yeah.
Because as long as you're isolated, that means you'll keep feeding that beast.
You'll keep feeding that. And the holidays are hard, and we make it hard on ourselves, and we do isolate around the holidays, and that's one of the biggest things that I wish I would have realized was to not isolate myself, especially during the holidays, because we lose a lot of people around the holidays.
So if you had a message to think about two things here,
Okay.
if you had a message to somebody that was in your position going into the holidays, back when you're in addiction,
Okay.
what kind of advice would you give them? And then on the flip side, What kind of advice would you give to the families of those people just going into the holidays? You know, if a family has somebody that's in addiction right now, somebody that, you know, that they care about, obviously, what's some good advice that you would say for that?
One, reach out. It's the holidays. Your family wants to hear from you. You know that you're not alone, no matter how alone you think you are. And for the families, and I know it might be hard because you might feel like, you know, you've put your foot down, or, you know, that you don't want to enable, but supporting them no matter what. I'm not saying with your money, I'm just saying with your love, because that was one of the biggest things to me that I struggled with. Was I felt like my family always supported me when I was doing great and in recovery.
Sure.
But as soon as I relapsed, I felt like they were like, "Oh, we're done with you. As soon as you use, we're done." And I think that that's the hardest spot. Like, you still have to support them. I'm not saying money, but I'm saying, like, don't cut off contact. Don't isolate. Yeah,
So,
it's important.
yeah.
It's very important.
Just to let people know, like, you have a lifeline here still.
Yes.
The bridge isn't completely burned.
No.
So,
And we get to the point where we think we've burned every possible bridge. And sometimes we have. But here's the thing, you know, those can be rebuilt as long as you're willing to do the work.
sure.
You know, it's accountability, first of all. Accountability, first of all, you know what I mean? Like, and that sucks because I'm the problem. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not the problem. It's everybody else. You know. But yeah, no, accountability's first. Taking responsibility for your role in your life and how you've not showed up, and then start to show up, you know, because people can't want your recovery more than you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else recovery wise? Everything like seems like you're going
it's
good.
going good.
Are you sponsoring or mentoring anybody right now?
I'm not at the moment.
Okay.
There has been a few developments in those areas.
Yeah.
But I am taking my ethics class next weekend.
Sure.
Actually, yeah, next weekend.
Yep, next weekend.
So I'm excited about that. I think, not that I don't like being a sponsor,
Sure.
but I definitely think I would be better suited in a recovery coach role. Yeah.
That's how I felt too.
Yeah.
I love the 12 steps. We do.
I do.
We talk a lot about
I have
them
a sponsor. I love my sponsor.
I felt like I was more suited for the coaching role. And there's some people that are just built to be that sponsor.
Yeah.
And I just never felt like that was me as I was going through it. And I sponsored some people here because they needed it and they asked, but I always felt like my calling was more in the coaching.
Yeah, and I feel like in a sponsor role, like, I become too friendly, and I feel like in a recovery coach role, it'll be more of a different setting. You know what I mean? Like, so where it's not, where I'm not putting, not that I won't care about and everybody that I work with in recovery, but like, I can get a little attached to people, and that's something that even, I think everybody does that, but I feel like I would be better suited just to being able to really get down to the actual professional part of it. Like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is just ask good questions, right?
Yeah.
Be curious.
Be curious. Curiouser and curiouser. I love it.
Anything else?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. As always, we have to end with the medical disclaimer.
I am not a doctor.
And I'm not a doctor. We are peer recovery coaches, though, who are in recovery, working a recovery program. And part of Stacy's recovery program is her working directly with her doctor in regards to transitioning off of Suboxone over to Sublocade, and then her plan of getting off of Sublocade shot here in the next few months.
Yes.
That is a plan that she has worked with her doctor. So as we say in every episode, if this is something you're interested in, either getting on or off Suboxone, getting on or off Sublocade, please go have a conversation with your doctor. That's why those medical professionals are there, so that they can talk you through what some of your options are and what works best for you, because each person's recovery journey is absolutely unique.
Absolutely unique.
So outside of that,
It's been a good week.
it has been a good week. We are looking forward to a good week here and some haircuts on Saturday,
it's gonna be a
and
fun one.
you know, just living the recovery dream here. We're going rock climbing on Thursday.
Oh, Lord.
Oh yes.
I'm excited. There's a lot of things coming up before the big Christmas holiday.
Yeah.
And New Year's. Ooh, New Year's.
New Year's.
Good
Yeah,
for
we're
you.
here until 2 a.m.
Oh, Lord, that's going to... Watching the ball drop.
Yeah, we're going to watch the ball drop. We might do some baptisms. Heidi's going to be ringing the bell for her 2 years. So, yeah, so it'll be a good day. All right, friends, thank you so much for following along today. As always, stay sober.
Not boring.
Not boring.